The best financial advice you'll ever hear. If you don't learn to control your money will eventually control you. There is financial advice that sounds impressive. And then there is financial advice that can actually change your life. Most people spend years searching for the secret to becoming wealthy. They look for the perfect investment, the perfect business, the perfect cryptocurrency, the perfect stock, the perfect opportunity. But what if the most important financial lesson isn't about what you should buy? What if it is about who you must become? Because money doesn't simply change your life. Money magnifies your habits. If you are careless with $100, you will probably be careless with $1,000. If you cannot manage $1,000, receiving $10,000 may not solve your problems. You may simply create bigger ones. That is why the best financial advice you'll ever hear is this. Stop trying to look rich and start learning how to become wealthy. There is a difference. Looking rich is about appearances. Becoming wealthy is about ownership, discipline, patience, knowledge, and freedom. And today, we're going to uncover the financial principles that can completely change the way you think about money. So listen carefully. Because one of these lessons could save you years of financial struggle. Chapter 1. Learn the difference between looking rich and being wealthy. Imagine two people. The first person earns a large income. They have expensive clothes, a new phone, a beautiful car. They eat at expensive restaurants. They constantly post their lifestyle online. Everyone thinks they're wealthy. But behind the scenes, they're drowning in debt. Their paycheck arrives and disappears. Now imagine another person. They earn less. They drive an ordinary car. They don't constantly show what they own. They live below their means. They save consistently. They invest. They build skills. They own productive assets. And slowly, quietly, their net worth grows. Who is actually wealthy? The answer is obvious. But society often teaches us the opposite. We are trained to associate wealth with appearance. A luxury car. A designer outfit. A massive house. A vacation. But wealth isn't what you can display. Wealth is what you can keep. If you earn $5,000 and spend $5,000, you may look rich. But if you earn $2,000 and consistently save and invest part of it, you're building wealth. This is one of the first mental shifts you must make. Stop asking, how can I look successful? Start asking, how can I become financially strong? Because every dollar you spend trying to impress people is a dollar you cannot use to build your future. You don't need to prove your success to strangers. You need to build a life that gives you freedom. And that leads to the next lesson. Because once you stop spending money to impress people, you finally have to confront the most important question. Where is your money actually going? Chapter 2. Know where every naira goes. You cannot control what you don't measure. Think about that. Imagine getting into a car and driving without knowing how much fuel is in the tank. You wouldn't do it. Yet millions of people live financially that way every month. Money comes in. Money goes out. And they have no idea where it went. Then at the end of the month they ask, where did all my money go? The answer is usually hidden inside dozens of small decisions. A little food delivery. A little entertainment. A little shopping. A little subscription. A little impulse purchase. A little unnecessary spending. None of them feels dangerous individually. But together, they become a financial leak. Imagine having a bucket filled with water. If there are tiny holes at the bottom, adding more water doesn't solve the problem. You must close the holes. Your finances work the same way. Before you focus on earning more, learn to manage what you already have. Track your income. Track your expenses. Know your needs. Know your wants. Know your debts. Know your savings. Know exactly what your money is doing. Because when you give every naira a purpose, you stop wondering where your money disappeared. And once you understand where your money is going, you can finally make your money work for you. Which brings us to one of the most important financial principles of all. Chapter 3. Pay yourself first. Most people follow this formula, Income expenses, whatever is left becomes savings. The problem? Usually nothing is left. Instead, reverse the formula. Income savings / investments expenses. When money enters your account, don't immediately treat the entire amount as available for spending. Set something aside first, even if it's small, because the amount matters less than the habit. If you earn 100,000 Nigerian Nairas and save 5,000 Nigerian Nairas, you've started building the identity of a saver. If you earn 500,000 Nigerian Nairas and spend everything, you've reinforced the identity of a spender. Your financial future is built through repeated behavior. Think about a seed. Nobody plants a seed today and expects a tree tomorrow. You plant it. You water it. You protect it. You wait. Then one day, something that looked insignificant becomes something powerful. Your savings can work the same way. Small amounts consistently invested and protected can become meaningful over time. So don't wait until you're rich before you start saving. Start saving so you can become financially strong. And remember, saving is not the final destination. It is the foundation. Because money sitting idle may preserve your capital, but wealth is usually built by putting money to productive use. And that takes us to the next lesson. Chapter 4. Make your money work for you. There are two ways to earn money. You can trade your time for it. Or you can build systems and assets that can produce value beyond your immediate labor. When you work a job, you exchange hours for income. That's important. But if all your income depends entirely on your physical presence and working hours, there is a limit. You only have so many hours in a day. That is why financially intelligent people eventually think beyond income. They ask, how can I make my money productive? That could involve investing, building a business, developing valuable intellectual property, or owning productive assets, depending on your circumstances, knowledge, and risk tolerance. The principle is simple. Don't let every naira you earn disappear into consumption. Some of it should help build your future. Imagine two people receive the same amount of money. Person A spends everything. Person B uses part of the money to acquire something that can potentially generate future value. After 1 year, their lives may look similar. After 10 years, they could look completely different. That is the power of compounding. Not magic. Not luck. Consistency. Time. Discipline. But there's something else you need to understand. Because investing without knowledge can turn into gambling. And that's why the next lesson may be even more important. Chapter 5. Invest in yourself before you invest your money. Before you invest thousands of dollars, invest in your mind. Learn. Study. Develop skills. Understand risk. Understand basic financial principles. Learn how businesses work. Learn how investments work. Learn how debt works. Learn how taxes affect your income. Learn how emotions influence financial decisions. Because the greatest asset you will ever own is not a stock. It is not a house. It is not a business. It is your ability to create value. If someone took away your possessions but left you with your knowledge, skills, discipline, and ability to solve problems, you could rebuild. That's why education is so powerful. A skill can increase your earning potential. Better knowledge can improve your decisions. Better decisions can improve your financial outcomes. And the more valuable problems you can solve, the more valuable you can become in the marketplace. So don't only ask, where should I invest my money? Ask, what can I learn that will make me more valuable? That question can change your financial life. But even a highly skilled person can destroy their finances through one dangerous habit. And that habit is debt. Chapter 6. Be careful with debt. Debt is not automatically evil. But irresponsible debt can become a prison. Imagine earning money every month. But before you receive it, a portion already belongs to someone else. Your salary arrives. Then payments leave. Again. And again. And again. Eventually, you're working not to build your future, but to maintain your past decisions. This is why you must understand the difference between debt that potentially helps create value and debt that simply finances consumption. Borrowing to purchase something that produces income or builds productive capacity can be very different from borrowing to buy things that lose value while generating no income. Before taking on debt, ask, will this make me stronger financially or weaker? Ask, can I comfortably repay it? Ask, what happens if my income suddenly decreases? Never allow the desire for instant gratification to steal your future freedom. Because sometimes the most expensive thing you can buy is something you cannot afford. And this leads to another powerful financial truth. Your greatest financial advantage may not be your income. It may be your ability to wait. Chapter 7: Master Delayed Gratification. We live in a world that constantly tells us, you deserve it now. Buy it now. Upgrade now. Travel now. Spend now. Pay later. But wealth often requires the opposite mindset. Wait. Save. Build. Invest. Repeat. There is a story about two young people who both received the same opportunity to earn extra money. The first immediately spent his additional income on things that made him feel successful. The second continued living almost exactly as before. His friends wondered, why aren't you enjoying your money? He smiled and said, I'm enjoying the future I'm building. Years later, the first person had memories of what he bought. The second had assets, skills, savings, and options. The difference wasn't intelligence. It was delayed gratification. The ability to sacrifice something small today for something much larger tomorrow is one of the most powerful financial skills you can develop. You don't have to become miserable. You don't have to stop enjoying life. You simply need balance. Enjoy some of your money. Protect some. Grow some. And never sacrifice your entire future for temporary pleasure. Because the goal isn't to avoid spending. The goal is to make sure your spending doesn't destroy your freedom. Chapter 8: Build multiple sources of income. One income source can be fragile. If your entire financial life depends on one salary, one client, or one business, a sudden change can create enormous pressure. That doesn't mean you need 10 businesses tomorrow. Start with one. Build competence. Then gradually expand. You might develop a freelance skill. Start a small business. Create educational content. Build a digital product. Invest responsibly. Or develop another legitimate source of income. The key is not to chase every opportunity. The key is to build valuable and sustainable income streams. Think of a tree. A tree with one weak branch is vulnerable. But a strong tree can have many branches connected to one healthy root system. Your financial root system should be knowledge, discipline, skills, savings, good decisions. Build those first. Then your income opportunities can grow from them. But there's still one enemy that can destroy even a strong financial foundation. Your emotions. Chapter 9: Never let emotions control your money. Fear, greed, envy, impatience, panic. These emotions have destroyed countless financial decisions. You see someone making money and suddenly feel behind. You invest without understanding what you're buying. The market falls. You panic. You sell. The market rises. You buy again because you're afraid of missing out. And the cycle continues. Financial success requires emotional discipline. You must be able to say, I don't understand this, so I won't invest in it. You must be able to say, everyone is doing it, but I don't have enough information. You must be able to say, I can afford it, but I don't need it. And sometimes the most powerful financial decision is simply no. No to impulse. No to pressure. No to comparison. No to unnecessary debt. No to get-rich-quick promises. No to financial decisions made from fear. Because protecting your money is just as important as earning it. And now we arrive at the final lesson. The lesson that ties everything together. Chapter 10: Think long-term. This may be the best financial advice of them all. Stop asking how to get rich quickly. Start asking how to become wealthy slowly and sustainably. There is no guaranteed shortcut to wealth. There are people who become wealthy quickly. But you cannot build your financial plan around luck. Build around principles. Earn more. Spend wisely. Save consistently. Avoid destructive debt. Invest according to your knowledge and risk tolerance. Build valuable skills. Protect yourself from scams. Stay disciplined. Think long term. Repeat. Imagine what happens if you follow these principles for 10 years. Not 10 days. Not 10 weeks. 10 years. Your knowledge can grow. Your skills can grow. Your income can grow. Your savings can grow. Your investments can potentially compound. Your network can grow. Your confidence can grow. And most importantly, your choices can grow. Because true wealth isn't simply about owning expensive things. True wealth is having options. The option to leave a bad situation. The option to help your family. The option to pursue meaningful work. The option to handle an emergency without collapsing financially. The option to say no. The option to live according to your values rather than constantly being controlled by money. That is the real goal. Not looking rich. Not impressing strangers. Not proving anything. Freedom. Final message. So if you remember nothing else from this video, remember these words. Spend less than you earn. Save before you spend. Invest in your knowledge. Build valuable skills. Be careful with debt. Make your money productive. Control your emotions. Avoid get-rich-quick thinking. Think long-term. And most importantly, become the kind of person who can handle wealth before you receive it. Because money doesn't automatically make you disciplined. Money doesn't automatically make you wise. Money doesn't automatically make you free. You must learn how to manage it. You must learn how to grow it. You must learn how to protect it. And you must learn when enough is enough. One day, you may look back and realize that becoming wealthy didn't begin when you earned your first million. It began when you changed the way you thought about your first naira. It began when you stopped asking, "What can I buy?" and started asking, "What can I build?" It began when you stopped trying to impress people and started investing in your future. It began when you understood that every financial decision is a vote for the person you are becoming. So make better decisions. Start small. Stay consistent. Keep learning. Keep building. Keep your eyes on the long term. Because your future self is watching what you do with the money you have today. And perhaps the best financial advice you'll ever hear is this. Don't work your whole life just to afford a life you never had time to enjoy. Build wealth. But also build wisdom. Build income. But also build character. Build assets. But also build relationships. Build your future. Because the ultimate goal isn't simply to have more money. The ultimate goal is to have more freedom, more choices, more peace, and more control over the direction of your life. This is your financial journey. And it starts with one decision. Make your next financial decision better than your last one. Thank you for watching Psychology of Success. If this video brought you value, subscribe, like, and share it with someone who is committed to growth. Remember, success is not something you find, it's something you build, one decision at a time. Because the future belongs to those who take action today. Master your mind. Transform your life. I'll see you in the next lesson. Master your mind. Transform this and be free from poverty. What if I told you that poverty is not always the absence of money? What if the greatest prison is not an empty wallet, but a mind programmed to believe that nothing can change? Millions of people work hard every single day. They wake up early. They sacrifice their time. Yet year after year, they remain exactly where they started. Why? Because they were taught how to survive, but never taught how to become free. The wealthy don't simply earn differently. They think differently. They see opportunities where others see problems. They build assets while others chase temporary comfort. And today, You are about to discover powerful truths that schools rarely teach, society often ignores, and many successful people wish they had learned much earlier. These lessons have transformed ordinary people into financially free individuals. But here's the warning. If you ignore even one of these principles, you may spend your entire life working for money instead of making money work for you. Stay until the very end, because the final lesson may completely change the way you look at wealth forever. Chapter 1: Poverty begins in the mind. Most people believe poverty starts when there isn't enough money. But poverty usually begins much earlier. It begins with limiting beliefs. When someone constantly says, "I can't. I'll never succeed. People like me don't become rich," their mind quietly accepts those words as truth. Your brain is like fertile soil. Whatever thoughts you plant repeatedly become your reality. Story: A young man grew up in a poor neighborhood. Every adult around him believed rich people were dishonest. Whenever someone became successful, people criticized them. Without realizing it, the young man developed fear of success. Years later, every opportunity that could have changed his life felt uncomfortable. He wasn't lacking ability. He was trapped by beliefs he never questioned. One day he met an elderly businessman who asked him, "Who told you that success wasn't meant for you?" That single question changed everything. For the first time, he realized many of his beliefs weren't facts. They were simply opinions passed down through generations. His income didn't change overnight, but his thinking did. And once his thinking changed, his future changed. End this chapter with a transition. Now that you understand where poverty truly begins, the next lesson reveals why so many hardworking people remain poor despite earning an income. Because earning money alone has never been enough. Continue to Chapter 2 in the same style, with deep storytelling, actionable lessons, and transitions that keep viewers eager to watch the next chapter. Chapter 2: Stop selling your time, start building value. Imagine two people who wake up at exactly the same time every morning. Both work 8 hours a day. Both receive a paycheck at the end of the month. Yet after 10 years, one owns businesses, investments, and financial freedom, while the other is still struggling to pay bills. What made the difference? It wasn't luck. It wasn't intelligence. It was one simple realization. The first person understood that time is limited, but value is unlimited. Most people are paid according to the value they create, not simply the hours they work. If you only trade your time for money, your income will always have a ceiling. There are only 24 hours in a day. But when you learn a valuable skill, when you solve important problems, when you build something that continues to help people even while you sleep, your income is no longer tied only to your physical presence. That is when financial freedom begins. Many people complain that they don't earn enough, but very few ask themselves an important question. What value am I creating that people are willing to pay for? Money follows value. Always. Story: A man named Daniel worked as a bricklayer. He was hardworking and dependable. Every day he carried heavy blocks under the hot sun. At the end of each month, almost every naira he earned was already spent. One evening, while walking home, he saw another man using a phone to teach construction techniques online. Thousands of people watched his videos. Companies paid him to advertise their tools. Students paid for his training. Daniel was confused. "I've been doing this work for 15 years, he thought. How is he earning more than I am? The answer was simple. Daniel had experience. The other man had learned how to turn his experience into value for thousands of people. That night, Daniel made a decision. Instead of spending every evening watching television, he started learning how to record videos, speak confidently, and teach what he knew. At first, almost nobody watched. His first video received only 12 views. Some people laughed at him. Others told him he was wasting his time. But Daniel refused to stop. Week after week, he improved. Month after month, more people discovered his content. Within 3 years, construction companies invited him to speak at events. Young apprentices paid him for mentorship. His online courses generated income every day. He was still a bricklayer. But now, he had become something more. He had become valuable beyond the hours he could physically work. The work of his hands created income. The work of his mind created wealth. That is the difference. The world rewards those who create value, not merely those who stay busy. Ask yourself, what problem can I solve? What skill can I improve? What knowledge can I share? What value can I create that will still help people tomorrow? Those questions can change your financial future. Remember this powerful truth. Poor people often ask, how can I make more money? Successful people ask, how can I become more valuable? The second question always leads to the first. The more value you create, the more opportunities you attract. The more opportunities you attract, the more freedom you gain. End of chapter. Transition. Now you understand why hard work alone is not enough. But there is another mistake that quietly keeps millions trapped in poverty. It destroys dreams before they ever become reality. In the next chapter, you'll discover why your daily habits, not your salary, determine your financial future. That lesson may completely change the way you live each day. Chapter 3. Your daily habits decide your financial future. Have you ever wondered why two people can earn the same income, yet one becomes wealthy, while the other remains trapped in financial struggle? The answer is hidden in something so ordinary that most people never notice it: their daily habits. Success is not created by one extraordinary decision. It is built through ordinary actions repeated consistently over time. Every day, your habits are either building your future or quietly destroying it. Imagine a small leak in a water tank. One drop doesn't seem important. Neither does the second, or the 100th. But after weeks and months, the tank is empty. Money works the same way. A small unnecessary expense every day. An hour wasted scrolling through social media. Another excuse to postpone learning a new skill. Another promise to start tomorrow. These tiny habits seem harmless. But over the years, they become the invisible chains of poverty. Now imagine the opposite. Reading 10 pages of a good book every day. Saving a small percentage of every income. Practicing a valuable skill for 1 hour daily. Investing instead of spending everything. These actions also seem small. But compounded over years, they create extraordinary results. The truth is simple. Your future is hiding inside your routine. Story. There were two childhood friends named Samuel and David. They both finished school together. Both found jobs within the same month. Both earned almost the same salary. At first, their lives looked identical. Every Friday evening, Samuel spent most of his money on parties, expensive clothes, and things he hoped would impress people. Whenever someone suggested investing or learning a new skill, he would laugh and say, "I'll think about that when I'm rich." David made different choices. He still enjoyed life, but he lived below his means. Each month, he saved a small amount. He bought books instead of unnecessary luxuries. He watched educational videos instead of spending every night on entertainment. He learned digital skills after work. His friends often mocked him. "Why are you working so hard? Enjoy your life. You only live once." David simply smiled. 5 years passed. Samuel was still waiting for payday every month. Debt had become a normal part of his life. David had built multiple sources of income. His savings had grown. His investments were producing returns. The digital skills he learned after work had become a successful business. One evening, Samuel visited David's new home. Looking around in amazement, he asked, "How did you become successful so quickly?" David smiled and replied, "It wasn't quick. You only noticed the results. You didn't notice the habits." That sentence carries enormous wisdom. People admire success, but they rarely admire the discipline that creates it. The world celebrates the harvest. Very few pay attention to the seeds. Ask yourself today, what habits am I repeating every morning? What habits do I practice before I sleep? Are my daily actions leading me toward freedom, or keeping me trapped? Remember this powerful truth. Your income may pay today's bills, but your habits determine tomorrow's wealth. Choose habits that your future self will thank you for. Because every day, whether you realize it or not, you are becoming the person your habits are creating. End of chapter. Transition. You now understand that your mindset shapes your life, and your habits shape your future. But there is another hidden enemy that silently destroys wealth before it can grow. In the next chapter, you'll discover why trying to impress other people is one of the fastest roads to poverty, and how breaking free from that trap can completely change your financial future. Chapter 4. Stop living to impress people. There is a silent trap that has kept millions of people poor. It doesn't look dangerous. In fact, society often celebrates it. It is the desire to impress people who are not paying your bills. Think about it. How many people buy things they don't need, with money they don't have, to impress people who don't truly care? A new phone they cannot afford, designer clothes bought on credit, a luxury lifestyle created only for social media. From the outside, they appear successful, but behind closed doors, they are drowning in debt, stress, and anxiety. The truth is painful. Looking rich and becoming rich are two completely different things. Many wealthy people live quietly. Many people who appear wealthy are financially struggling. Never confuse appearance with reality. Real wealth is not about what people see. It is about what you own, what you invest, and what continues to earn money even when no one is watching. The moment you stop competing with other people, you begin competing with the person you were yesterday. That is where true growth begins. Story. A young woman named Grace had just received her first promotion at work. It was the biggest paycheck she had ever earned. Instead of creating a financial plan, she decided it was finally time to look successful. She bought expensive clothes, a brand new phone, luxury handbags. Every weekend, she visited expensive restaurants just to post pictures online. Her followers admired her lifestyle. Comments poured in. "You've made it! You are living the dream!" But every night, Grace worried about bills. Her savings account remained almost empty. One unexpected medical emergency changed everything. She had no emergency fund, no investments, no financial backup. The lifestyle she had worked so hard to display disappeared within weeks. Around the same time, Grace met an older colleague named Esther. Esther drove a modest car. She wore simple clothes. She rarely spoke about money. Many people assumed she wasn't doing well financially. One afternoon, Grace asked her, "How do you stay so calm even during difficult times?" Esther smiled and replied, "Because I don't spend my money trying to impress strangers." She explained that for years she had invested part of every paycheck. She owned shares in businesses. She had rental income. She maintained an emergency fund. She had learned that financial peace is worth far more than temporary applause. Grace never forgot those words. Instead of chasing attention, she began chasing wisdom. She reduced unnecessary spending. She started investing. She learned about budgeting. Little by little, her financial life became stronger. A few years later, people began asking Grace for advice. Not because of what she posted online, but because of the stable, peaceful life she had quietly built. That is the difference between appearance and reality. One seeks admiration, the other creates freedom. Remember this. Applause cannot pay your bills. Likes cannot build wealth. Comments cannot replace investments. The opinions of strangers will never secure your future. Every naira you spend should have a purpose. Ask yourself before every major purchase. Am I buying this because I truly need it? Or because I want someone else to notice? That one question can save you years of financial regret. The richest people often understand something that many never learn. Freedom is more valuable than showing off. Choose financial peace over temporary attention. Choose investments over unnecessary luxury. Choose your future over someone else's opinion. Because when you stop trying to look rich, you finally give yourself the opportunity to become rich. End of chapter. Transition. You have now learned that your mindset shapes your future. Your habits determine your direction, and your choices reveal your priorities. But there is one final obstacle that silently destroys more dreams than failure ever could. In the next chapter, you'll discover why fear keeps so many people trapped in poverty, and how learning to act despite fear can completely transform your life. Chapter 5. Fear is the invisible prison. There is one force more powerful than poverty itself. It has stopped brilliant ideas before they were ever started. It has silenced talented people before they ever spoke. It has convinced millions to settle for less than they were capable of becoming. That force is fear. Fear of failure. Fear of rejection. Fear of criticism. Fear of losing money. Fear of making mistakes. The tragedy is that fear rarely appears as a monster. It disguises itself as comfort. It whispers, "Wait until you're ready. Start next year. What if people laugh at you? What if you fail?" And while you listen to those whispers, months become years. Years become decades. Dreams slowly fade away. Here's a true successful people understand. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is taking action even while fear is present. Every successful entrepreneur has experienced fear. Every great leader has doubted themselves. Every wealthy investor has made mistakes. The difference is not that they were fearless. The difference is that they refused to let fear make their decisions. If you always wait until you feel completely confident, you may wait forever. Growth begins the moment you step outside your comfort zone. Story. A young man named Michael dreamed of owning his own business. For years, he worked in a small grocery store. Every day, he imagined opening a store of his own. He had ideas. He had determination. He even saved enough money to begin. But every time he was about to take the first step, fear spoke louder. What if customers don't come? What if you lose everything? What if people say you failed? So Michael waited. 1 year passed. Then another. Then another. One afternoon, an elderly customer noticed the sadness on Michael's face and asked, "What's troubling you?" Michael explained his dream and all the reasons he hadn't started. The old man smiled gently and asked one simple question. "Tell me, if you never try, what are you guaranteed to become?" Michael thought for a moment. Then he quietly answered, "Exactly where I am." The old man nodded. "Failure can teach you something, but doing nothing teaches you nothing." Those words echoed in Michael's mind for weeks. Finally, he made a decision. He rented a very small shop. The first month was difficult. Some days, he sold almost nothing. He made mistakes with pricing. He lost a few customers. There were moments he wanted to quit. But instead of seeing every mistake as proof that he should stop, he saw each mistake as a lesson. He listened to his customers. He improved his service. He learned about marketing. He became wiser with every challenge. 5 years later, the tiny shop had grown into 3 successful stores. People called him lucky. They admired his success. But they never saw the years of fear he had overcome before taking the first step. His greatest victory was not building a business. His greatest victory was defeating the fear that had kept him imprisoned for so long. That is the battle every successful person must fight. Not against the world, but against the voice inside that says, "You can't." Remember this. Fear will always give you reasons to stay where you are. Faith will always give you a reason to move forward. You don't need to have all the answers before you begin. You simply need the courage to take the next step. Because action creates confidence. Experience creates wisdom. Persistence creates success. And success creates freedom. One decision made today can completely change the direction of your life tomorrow. End of chapter. Transition. You have learned that a poor mindset limits your future. Bad habits drain your potential. Living to impress others steals your wealth. And fear keeps you trapped. But there is one principle that separates those who merely earn money from those who build lasting wealth. In the next chapter, you will discover why making money is only the beginning, and why learning to make your money work for you is the key to true financial freedom. Chapter 6. Make your money work for you. There is a question that can reveal whether someone is building wealth or simply surviving. The question is this: if you stopped working today, how long would your money continue to support you? For many people, the answer is painful. A week. A month. Maybe not even that. That is because they have spent their entire lives working for money, without ever teaching their money to work for them. This is one of the greatest secrets of financial freedom. The wealthy understand that every naira they save and invest is like hiring a worker. One worker may not seem like much, but 100 workers, 1,000 workers, can generate income long after you've stopped working. Money is a powerful servant, but it is a terrible master. If you spend everything you earn, your money serves only the present. But if you invest wisely, your money begins building your future. Every investment is like planting a seed. A seed does not become a tree overnight. It needs time, patience, care. Many people give up because they expect instant results. But those who remain patient eventually enjoy a harvest that others can only dream about. The problem isn't that people don't earn enough. Often, the problem is that they spend everything they earn. Income can make you comfortable. Investments can make you free. Story. There was a man named Joseph who worked as a bus driver. He earned enough to provide for his family, but every month ended the same way. His salary came in, and before long, it was gone. One day, he met an old friend who had once earned even less than he did. Yet somehow, that friend had become financially stable. Curious, Joseph asked, "What is your secret?" His friend smiled and replied, "I stopped asking how much I could spend, and started asking how much I could invest." Joseph expected some complicated strategy. Instead, his friend showed him something surprisingly simple. Every month, before paying for entertainment or unnecessary purchases, he set aside a small portion of his income. Sometimes it was only 5%, sometimes 10%. It wasn't the amount that mattered. It was the habit. He invested consistently. He learned about businesses. He saved during difficult times. He avoided unnecessary debt. Years passed. At first, nothing seemed different. But slowly, something remarkable happened. His investments began producing income. Then those earnings produced even more earnings. What once seemed impossible became reality. His money was now earning money. Joseph decided to follow the same path. The beginning was difficult. There were temptations everywhere. Friends encouraged him to spend. Advertisements promised happiness through buying more. But Joseph remembered one important lesson. Every naira has a job. It can either buy temporary pleasure or build permanent freedom. He chose freedom. 10 years later, Joseph looked back with gratitude. Not because he had become an overnight millionaire, but because he had escaped the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. His money had become his employee. And every month, those employees continued working faithfully. That is the quiet power of investing. It is not exciting in the beginning. It is not glamorous. It requires patience, discipline, consistency. But over time, it changes everything. Remember this truth. Don't spend what is left after saving and investing. Save and invest first. Then live on what remains. That one habit has transformed countless ordinary people into financially secure individuals. Wealth is rarely built through one lucky moment. It is built through hundreds of wise decisions repeated over many years. Your future self is depending on the decisions you make today. Choose to plant seeds. Choose to think long term. Choose to let your money work as hard as you do. Because one day, those small seeds can grow into a forest of financial freedom. End of chapter. Transition. By now, you understand that wealth is not created by luck. It is created by mindset, habits, courage, and wise financial decisions. But there is one final lesson that ties everything together. In the next chapter, you'll discover the powerful law that determines whether opportunities come into your life or quietly pass you by, and why the person you become is far more important than the money you earn. Chapter 7: Become the person wealth is looking for. Many people spend their lives chasing money, but very few stop to ask an important question. Am I becoming the kind of person who can keep wealth when it arrives? This is where many people fail. They focus on getting more, instead of becoming more. The truth is, money doesn't solve every problem. It often reveals the person you already are. If you are careless with a little, you will likely be careless with a lot. If you cannot manage one opportunity, how will you manage 10? Success is not something you chase. It is something you attract by becoming the right person. Think of a magnet. A magnet doesn't run around searching for metal. It attracts it because of what it is. Your character works the same way. Discipline attracts opportunity. Integrity attracts trust. Knowledge attracts value. Consistency attracts success. And success attracts wealth. The person you become determines the life you will live. Many people pray for a better future, but few are willing to become better people. They ask for bigger opportunities, while refusing to prepare for greater responsibility. Life rarely rewards wishes. It rewards preparation. Story: There was a young woman named Ruth who dreamed of becoming a successful entrepreneur. She attended every motivational seminar she could find. She watched countless videos about becoming rich. She filled notebooks with business ideas. But year after year, nothing changed. One day, she met an elderly businessman who had built several successful companies. Excited, she asked him, "Sir, what business should I start to become wealthy?" The old man smiled and replied, "Before I answer, tell me this. If I gave you 100 million naira today, would you know how to manage it?" Ruth was silent. The businessman continued, "Money doesn't create wisdom. Wisdom creates money. If you become the right person, wealth will eventually find its way to you." Those words challenged her deeply. Instead of searching for shortcuts, Ruth began working on herself. She learned financial management. She improved her communication skills. She developed discipline. She became honest in every small detail. She learned to keep her promises. She treated every customer with respect, even when her business was small. People noticed. Customers returned. They referred others. Investors trusted her. Business partners believed in her. Not because she was lucky, but because she had become trustworthy. Years later, Ruth built the successful business she had always dreamed about. When people asked about her secret, she smiled and said, "I stopped chasing money and started becoming the kind of person money could trust." That is a lesson worth remembering. Wealth often follows character. Opportunity often follows preparation. Success often follows discipline. Ask yourself today, am I becoming wiser each year? Am I learning new skills? Am I someone people can trust? Do I finish what I start? Do I keep my word even when no one is watching? These questions are far more valuable than asking, "How can I become rich quickly?" Because lasting success is built from the inside out. Your habits shape your character. Your character shapes your reputation. Your reputation opens doors that money alone never can. Never underestimate the power of personal growth. Books can change your thinking. Mentors can change your direction. Discipline can change your future. One good decision repeated every day can completely transform your life. Remember this powerful truth. The greatest investment you will ever make is not in stocks, not in real estate, not even in business. It is the investment you make in yourself. Because when you become more valuable, the world responds differently. Opportunities begin to appear. People begin to notice. Doors begin to open. And the life you once dreamed about slowly becomes your reality. End of chapter. Transition. You now understand that freedom from poverty begins in the mind, grows through discipline, and is sustained by becoming the right person. But there is one final chapter left, the most important of all. In the final chapter, you'll discover the one decision that separates those who only dream of a better life from those who actually create it, and you'll be challenged to make a choice that could change your future forever. Chapter 8: The Decision That Changes Everything. We have come to the most important lesson of this journey. Not because it contains a secret that no one has ever heard, but because it is the one lesson that determines whether everything you've learned today will change your life, or simply become another video you watched and forgot. Knowledge has power, only when it is applied. You can read every book on wealth, listen to every motivational speaker, watch hundreds of success videos, attend expensive seminars, but if you never act, nothing changes. Your future is not created by what you know. It is created by what you do. Think about this. A farmer may own the best seeds in the world. He may understand everything about farming. He may know exactly when the rain will come. But if he never plants the seeds, there will be no harvest. Life works the same way. Dreams without action remain dreams. Goals without discipline remain wishes. Plans without execution become regrets. One day, every person reaches a moment where they must choose. Remain comfortable, or become courageous. Remain the same, or become someone new. That choice belongs to you. Story. Many years ago, there were two brothers named Peter and John. They grew up in the same house, faced the same struggles, received the same education. Both dreamed of escaping poverty. Every evening they talked about the future. Peter always said, "One day I'll start my business." John said, "So will I." Months passed. Then years. Peter kept collecting ideas. He waited for the perfect opportunity. The perfect amount of money. The perfect timing. The perfect conditions. But perfection never came. John made a different decision. He started small. His first business was far from perfect. He made mistakes. He lost money. Some people laughed at him. Others told him to quit. But every failure taught him something valuable. He adjusted. He improved. He refused to stop. 10 years later, Peter was still talking about what he planned to do. John was living what he had once dreamed about. One evening, Peter asked his brother, "What made the difference between us?" John smiled and answered, "We both had dreams. The difference was, I decided to begin before I felt ready." That answer contains a truth that has changed countless lives. Success does not belong to those who wait. It belongs to those who move. Will you make mistakes? Yes. Will you experience setbacks? Absolutely. Will there be days when you feel discouraged? Without question. But every step forward teaches you something that standing still never will. The greatest risk in life is not failing. The greatest risk is spending your entire life wondering, "What if I had tried?" Years from now, you will not regret the opportunities that challenged you. You will regret the opportunities you were too afraid to pursue. So make a decision today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. Decide to learn. Decide to save. Decide to invest. Decide to improve your skills. Decide to stop making excuses. Decide to take responsibility for your future. Because nobody can make that decision for you. Your family cannot do it. Your friends cannot do it. Your government cannot do it. Only you can. Remember every lesson from this journey. A wealthy life begins with a wealthy mindset. Daily habits shape your destiny. Value creates income. Discipline creates freedom. Investments build wealth. Character attracts opportunity. Action changes everything. If you carry these principles with you, you will no longer see poverty as a permanent condition. You will see it as a challenge that can be overcome through wisdom, discipline, faith, and consistent action. Your future has not been written yet. Every decision you make from this moment forward is another sentence in the story of your life. So write a story that inspires others. Build a life that your children will be proud of. Leave behind a legacy that proves where you started does not determine where you finish. Thank you for staying until the end of this journey. If this message inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs hope today. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Psychology of Success, where every lesson is designed to help you master your mind, transform your life, and create the future you deserve. Remember, master your mind. Transform your life. Chapter 8: The Decision That Changes Everything. We have come to the most important lesson of this journey. Not because it contains a secret that no one has ever heard, but because it is the one lesson that determines whether everything you've learned today will change your life, or simply become another video you watched and forgot. Knowledge has power, only when it is applied. You can read every book on wealth, listen to every motivational speaker, watch hundreds of success videos, attend expensive seminars, but if you never act, nothing changes. Your future is not created by what you know. It is created by what you do. Think about this. A farmer may own the best seeds in the world. He may understand everything about farming. He may know exactly when the rain will come. But if he never plants the seeds, there will be no harvest. Life works the same way. Dreams without action remain dreams. Goals without discipline remain wishes. Plans without execution become regrets. One day, every person reaches a moment where they must choose. Remain comfortable, or become courageous. Remain the same, or become someone new. That choice belongs to you. Story. Many years ago, there were two brothers named Peter and John. They grew up in the same house, faced the same struggles, received the same education. Both dreamed of escaping poverty. Every evening they talked about the future. Peter always said, "One day I'll start my business." John said, "So will I." Months passed. Then years. Peter kept collecting ideas. He waited for the perfect opportunity. The perfect amount of money. The perfect timing. The perfect conditions. But perfection never came. John made a different decision. He started small. His first business was far from perfect. He made mistakes. He lost money. Some people laughed at him. Others told him to quit. But every failure taught him something valuable. He adjusted. He improved. He refused to stop. 10 years later, Peter was still talking about what he planned to do. John was living what he had once dreamed about. One evening, Peter asked his brother, "What made the difference between us?" John smiled and answered, "We both had dreams. The difference was, I decided to begin before I felt ready." That answer contains a truth that has changed countless lives. Success does not belong to those who wait. It belongs to those who move. Will you make mistakes? Yes. Will you experience setbacks? Absolutely. Will there be days when you feel discouraged? Without question. But every step forward teaches you something that standing still never will. The greatest risk in life is not failing. The greatest risk is spending your entire life wondering, "What if I had tried?" Years from now, you will not regret the opportunities that challenged you. You will regret the opportunities you were too afraid to pursue. So make a decision today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. Decide to learn. Decide to save. Decide to invest. Decide to improve your skills. Decide to stop making excuses. Decide to take responsibility for your future. Because nobody can make that decision for you. Your family cannot do it. Your friends cannot do it. Your government cannot do it. Only you can. Remember every lesson from this journey. A wealthy life begins with a wealthy mindset. Daily habits shape your destiny. Value creates income. Discipline creates freedom. Investments build wealth. Character attracts opportunity. Action changes everything. If you carry these principles with you, you will no longer see poverty as a permanent condition. You will see it as a challenge that can be overcome through wisdom, discipline, faith, and consistent action. Your future has not been written yet. Every decision you make from this moment forward is another sentence in the story of your life. So write a story that inspires others. Build a life that your children will be proud of. Leave behind a legacy that proves where you started does not determine where you finish. Thank you for staying until the end of this journey. If this message inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs hope today. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Psychology of Success, where every lesson is designed to help you master your mind, transform your life, and create the future you deserve. Remember, master your mind. Transform your life. Chapter 8: The Decision That Changes Everything. We have come to the most important lesson of this journey. Not because it contains a secret that no one has ever heard, but because it is the one lesson that determines whether everything you've learned today will change your life, or simply become another video you watched and forgot. Knowledge has power, only when it is applied. You can read every book on wealth, listen to every motivational speaker, watch hundreds of success videos, attend expensive seminars, but if you never act, nothing changes. Your future is not created by what you know. It is created by what you do. Think about this. A farmer may own the best seeds in the world. He may understand everything about farming. He may know exactly when the rain will come. But if he never plants the seeds, there will be no harvest. Life works the same way. Dreams without action remain dreams. Goals without discipline remain wishes. Plans without execution become regrets. One day, every person reaches a moment where they must choose. Remain comfortable, or become courageous. Remain the same, or become someone new. That choice belongs to you. Story. Many years ago, there were two brothers named Peter and John. They grew up in the same house, faced the same struggles, received the same education. Both dreamed of escaping poverty. Every evening they talked about the future. Peter always said, "One day I'll start my business." John said, "So will I." Months passed. Then years. Peter kept collecting ideas. He waited for the perfect opportunity. The perfect amount of money. The perfect timing. The perfect conditions. But perfection never came. John made a different decision. He started small. His first business was far from perfect. He made mistakes. He lost money. Some people laughed at him. Others told him to quit. But every failure taught him something valuable. He adjusted. He improved. He refused to stop. 10 years later, Peter was still talking about what he planned to do. John was living what he had once dreamed about. One evening, Peter asked his brother, "What made the difference between us?" John smiled and answered, "We both had dreams. The difference was, I decided to begin before I felt ready." That answer contains a truth that has changed countless lives. Success does not belong to those who wait. It belongs to those who move. Will you make mistakes? Yes. Will you experience setbacks? Absolutely. Will there be days when you feel discouraged? Without question. But every step forward teaches you something that standing still never will. The greatest risk in life is not failing. The greatest risk is spending your entire life wondering, "What if I had tried?" Years from now, you will not regret the opportunities that challenged you. You will regret the opportunities you were too afraid to pursue. So make a decision today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. Decide to learn. Decide to save. Decide to invest. Decide to improve your skills. Decide to stop making excuses. Decide to take responsibility for your future. Because nobody can make that decision for you. Your family cannot do it. Your friends cannot do it. Your government cannot do it. Only you can. Remember every lesson from this journey. A wealthy life begins with a wealthy mindset. Daily habits shape your destiny. Value creates income. Discipline creates freedom. Investments build wealth. Character attracts opportunity. Action changes everything. If you carry these principles with you, You will no longer see poverty as a permanent condition. You will see it as a challenge that can be overcome through wisdom, discipline, faith, and consistent action. Your future has not been written yet. Every decision you make from this moment forward is another sentence in the story of your life. So write a story that inspires others. Build a life that your children will be proud of. Leave behind a legacy that proves where you started does not determine where you finish. Thank you for staying until the end of this journey. If this message inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs hope today. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Psychology of Success, where every lesson is designed to help you master your mind, transform your life, and create the future you deserve. Remember, master your mind. Transform your life. Before you leave this video, I want you to pause for just a moment. Think about the person you were before you press play. Now think about the person you can become if you truly apply these lessons. The distance between those two people is not measured by time. It is measured by decisions. Every successful person was once unknown. Every millionaire was once a beginner. Every expert was once inexperienced. Every champion was once defeated. The difference is that they refused to quit. You have something inside you that no poverty can destroy. Your ability to learn. Your ability to grow. Your ability to change. As long as you are alive, your story is still being written. Never let your current situation convince you that your future is already decided. The tree you admire today once looked like an ordinary seed. The tallest building in your city began with a single brick. The longest journey begins with one step. And financial freedom begins with one decision. Perhaps today, that decision is to stop wasting money. Perhaps it is to finally start that business. Perhaps it is to learn a valuable skill. Perhaps it is to pay off your debts. Perhaps it is simply to believe in yourself again. Whatever that decision is, make it today. Don't underestimate small beginnings. Small steps become long journeys. Small savings become great investments. Small disciplines become powerful habits. Small improvements become extraordinary lives. Never compare your chapter 1 to someone else's, chapter 20. Your journey is unique. Move at your own pace. Grow every day. Become a little wiser each morning. Become a little stronger every evening. Keep moving forward. There will be days when you feel like giving up. There will be people who doubt you. There will be obstacles that seem impossible. But remember this. The darkest hour comes just before dawn. Every challenge is preparing you for a greater opportunity. Every setback is teaching you something success never could. Every failure is an invitation to become wiser. Don't fear failure. Fear living your entire life without discovering what you were truly capable of becoming. 1 year from today, imagine looking back and saying, "I'm so glad I started." 5 years from today, imagine living a life that once felt impossible. Imagine helping your family. Imagine creating opportunities for others. Imagine becoming an example that proves poverty is not permanent. That future starts today. Not because everything will change overnight, but because you will. And when you change, your habits change. Your habits change your actions. Your actions change your results. And your results change your life. Never forget these words. Your past is a lesson, not a life sentence. Your struggles are temporary. Your potential is limitless. Your future is waiting for the decisions you make today. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this video encouraged you, leave a comment below and tell us the one lesson that impacted you the most. Share this video with someone who needs hope, direction, and a new perspective on life. Subscribe to Psychology of Success and turn on notifications, because every week we bring you powerful lessons on success, discipline, wealth, and personal growth to help you unlock your highest potential. Until next time, master your mind. Transform your life. Thank you for watching Psychology of Success. If this video brought you value, subscribe, like, and share it with someone who is committed to growth. Remember, success is not something you find, it's something you build, one decision at a time. Because the future belongs to those who take action today. Master your mind. Transform your life. I'll see you in the next lesson.